It may not come as a surprise to read that Sergio Agüero, the man who would go on to become one of the Premier League's greatest strikers, grew up in poverty. But what's truly remarkable about his story isn't just the sacrifices he made along the way, or even his rise to fame. Agüero's early life paints a picture of hardship, but also of a singular passion for the beautiful game. His story is one of talent, determination, and overcoming obstacles that might have crushed someone less resilient. How did a boy from one of the Buenos Aires poorest districts go from playing football on dirt pitches to becoming a global star? Let's dive into the remarkable journey of Sergio Agüero. Sergio Agüero's story begins in the rundown Gonzalez Catan district of Buenos Aires, an area not often associated with success or glamour. His parents, Leonardo Castillo and Adriana Agüero, were just teenagers when they left their families in Tucumán to start a new life in Argentina's sprawling capital. At the time, Argentina's economic crisis was at its peak, and opportunities were few and far between. What did they have to show for their bravery in seeking a better life? Not much. Only a plot of land near the polluted Las Víboras River, a location not exactly seen as a place of opportunity. With limited resources, Lionel, a skilled but struggling footballer, built their family home with his own hands. The house was made out of mismatched bricks, the roof of a flimsy sheet of metal, and the toilet a hole in the ground. Running water was a luxury they couldn't afford, so Adriana and Sergio's older sister, Jessica, would walk 100 meters to collect the water in two 20-litre containers. Despite these grim circumstances, the young family did what they could to survive and thrive. Lionel may not have had wealth, but he had something just as important: a passion for football. That passion would be passed on to his son, Sergio, and would ultimately shape his destiny. In the midst of this poverty, young Sergio found his love for football. The Gonzalez Catan district wasn't known for luxury. It was known for its potreros, improvised football pitches where kids would play with nothing but a ball and a dream. But in a place like Gonzalez Catan, where so many dreams were squashed by poverty, how could anyone ever expect someone to rise above it all? Was it just chance? Or was there something about young Sergio Agüero that set him apart? As Sergio owned his skills in the potreros, his talent didn't go unnoticed. At just 9 years old, Agüero joined the youth system of the Independiente, one of Argentina's top clubs. Agüero's early years at Independiente were not easy. Moving from the streets to the professional world came with new challenges, both on and off the field. For one, he was a small, skinny kid. At just 5'8", he wasn't physically imposing like some of his peers. However, what he lacked in size, he more than made up for with speed, agility, and a raw ability to read the game. He quickly caught the attention of coaches, who saw the raw potential in him. By 15, Agüero had made his debut for Independiente's first team, an incredible achievement for someone so young. In doing so, he broke the record for being the youngest ever debutant in the Argentine Primera Division. The world was starting to take notice of the kid from Gonzalez Catan. He wasn't just a player, he was a prodigy, and the footballing world was ready to see where his talent would take him. Despite achieving success in Argentina with Independiente, Agüero's future was never meant to be confined to South America. The promise of La Liga, the top European leagues, and the chance to test himself against the continent's best players was too much to resist. In 2006, at just 18 years old, Agüero made the brave move to Spain, signing for Atletico Madrid, a club with a rich history and a passionate fanbase that would be the perfect stage for his next challenge. But why did Agüero make this jump so early? After all, moving to a new country, adapting to a new culture, and competing in one of the toughest leagues in the world would be daunting for any young player. The answer was clear the moment Agüero set foot on the pitch at the Vicente Calderón Stadium. He was more than ready. In his first season with Atletico Madrid, Agüero's talents quickly became undeniable. His style of play, smooth, creative, and explosive, caught the eye of fans and pundits alike. He wasn't just another forward, he was a complete player, able to score from almost any position and provide assists with his vision and passing. Despite his relatively small frame, his agility and strength on the ball set him apart from many of his contemporaries. Agüero's debut season in La Liga 2006-2007 was a whirlwind. He scored 6 goals in his first 14 appearances, showcasing his ability to adapt to the speed and technical demands of European football. It was clear that Atletico Madrid had acquired a special talent. But what was it about Agüero that made him such a phenomenon at such a young age? Was it his raw talent or the mental ability he developed from a life full of challenges? Agüero's meteoric rise at Atletico Madrid wasn't just a flash in the pan, it was the beginning of something extraordinary. After establishing himself as one of Europe's most exciting strikers, the inevitable happened. Europe's elite clubs came knocking. In 2011, after a remarkable 4-year spell at Atletico, Agüero made the life-changing move to the Premier League, signing for Manchester City in a deal worth around €40 million, a club under new ownership with grand ambitions to dominate English football. At just 23 years old, Agüero was already hailed as one of the best strikers in the world. Even though Manchester City's team was star-studded, they still lacked the final piece to turn them into Premier League champions. They needed a striker who could score goals consistently and lift the team to new heights. Enter Agüero. The decision seemed like a perfect fit. Agüero had already proved his worth in one of the top leagues in Europe, and Manchester City's style of play, fast, attacking football, was ideally suited to his abilities. City's new project was about more than just signing big-name players. It was about creating a winning culture, and Agüero was going to be a central figure in that. What happened next was nothing short of legendary. Agüero's first season in the Premier League was a statement to the world. He was no longer the young, promising talent from Argentina. He was a bona fide superstar, ready to lead Manchester City's charge for the Premier League title. The Argentine striker wasted no time in making an impact. In his debut match against Swansea City, he scored 2 goals, marking the beginning of what would become one of the most iconic Premier League careers in history. Agüero's speed, poise, and finishing ability set him apart from other strikers, and by the end of the 2011-12 season, he had scored 30 goals in all competitions, a phenomenal feat for his first season in England. But it wasn't just about the goals. Agüero quickly became known for his composure under pressure and his ability to deliver in clutch moments. The defining moment of his debut season came on May 13, 2012, in one of the most unforgettable matches in Premier League history. With Manchester City needing a win to secure their first top-flight title in 44 years, Agüero delivered a goal that would become part of football folklore. On that fateful day, Agüero scored one of the most dramatic goals in football history. With the game tied 2-2 against Queen's Park Rangers on the final day of the season, City were seconds away from losing the title to their rivals, Manchester United. Then, in the 94th minute, Agüero found himself in the perfect position to slot home a rebound, securing a 3-2 win and sealing City's first Premier League title. The moment became iconic, not just for Agüero's clinical finish, but for what it symbolised. In that instant, Agüero embodied everything Manchester City had been working towards: resilience, talent, and the ability to come through in the most critical moments. His goal, later immortalised as the Agüero goal, made him a hero for City fans and cemented his place as one of the best strikers in Premier League history. But how did Agüero handle the pressure of being in such a high-stakes situation? What went through his mind as he stepped up to take that shot with the title hanging in the balance? The answer, as Agüero himself has stated, was calmness. For him, football was about trusting his instincts and focusing on the moment. His years of struggle and determination had prepared him exactly for that moment, when the weight of history was on his shoulders. From that moment on, Agüero became synonymous with Manchester City's rise to dominance in English football. Over the next decade, he would go on to become the club's all-time leading scorer, breaking record after record and helping City secure numerous trophies, including multiple Premier League titles, FA Cups, and EFL Cups. But Agüero's impact wasn't limited to the domestic scene. He also became a key figure for Argentina, helping them reach the 2014 World Cup final and lifting the Copa America in 2021, after years of near misses. As his career progressed, Agüero's place in the list of football legends became assured. His lethal finishing, incredible positioning, and ability to perform on the biggest stage made him one of the best strikers of his generation. And while his career was cut short by injury, his legacy as one of the greatest footballers to ever play in the Premier League remains intact. So what made Sergio Agüero so special? Was it just his talent, or was there something deeper? Something that drove him to overcome his tough beginnings, to thrive in Spain, and to become a hero in England? Perhaps the answer lies in his unshakable belief in himself and his ability to perform when it mattered most. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more player documentaries.